Welcome back to the latest BattleGoat Studios developer blog. Our apologies for having gone a little quiet for the last number of weeks. Like most of you, we have been practicing social distancing, isolation as needed in our region. There has been some challenges. For our studio, though, we have had the good fortune to manage things going reasonably well. But we're back today to start filling you in again on what's going on here at the studio. George, why don't you talk a bit about it?
Well, one of the things is, Galactic Ruler is a project we have been working on very actively for the last number of months. And in fact, Chris will talk a little bit more about some of the new team members we're bringing on board to push that forward. Some of you, of course, have noticed that we had originally hoped at Q2, and in fact, we were targeting end of June or early July for our Galactic Ruler early access release. That has been pushed a little bit because of the challenges we've had in continuing development, and also some very interesting developments we've been able to do, such as we'll be talking more in the future about the Galactic Ruler game engine, but it's being updated to and has been updated to DirectX 11 to give it better visual quality, better compatibility. Also a lot of exciting things going on there. And so we don't have an exact date to announce yet, but it is going to be Q3 2020 that Galactic Ruler will be released in early access. That, of course, it's video game development. Everything is in flux, and especially with the world the way it is this year. But we have a great team working very hard to meet that goal. You want to talk about that?
Sure, and actually I'd like to follow up on one of the things you were saying there, that with the changes we've been making to the engine, one of the things we can share today, the community has talked about before, is the question around 32-bit and 64-bit. The decision has been made, based on the changes we made, that Galactic Ruler, and really all products that BattleGoat makes from this day forward, will require 64-bit operating systems. George, you had done some research on the usage between them.
Yeah, and so the Steam hardware report does say that the great majority of people are using 64-bit, and we're talking 98% of users. Some of you out there are still using Windows 7, which is a little odd, but it is 64-bit Windows 7. So Windows 7 Service Pack 1 will be supported, though it's going to be not within our recommended standard. We do know that the move to DirectX 11 and 64-bit will cut out some players with their hardware specs, and we acknowledge that, but we think the excitement that new features can bring to the engine will push things forward.
And some of the impact for us, while we've been in this isolation and looking at how we changed a company that used to run all in an office, and now we're down to us and Eric, our cameraman for today, are the only people at the studio today. Moving to working remotely allowed us forced us to examine a lot of our workflow process. We also, as a company, looked at what supports were available, provided in our region for allowing video game studios, software makers to continue functioning. And we've actually been able to leverage something that's going to let us, at least in a short term, grow our team with a focus on the changes we're making to the engine. It was clear that we have the opportunity to make use of a lot more in the way of 3D assets, graphic effects, visual effects. So the team is actually growing next week, which by the time this video publishes, they will be on board, that we're bringing in 3 additional modelers, artists with coding background as well and stuff to grow the team, which I guess is about a 25% increase from one week to the next in the size of our team. And we really hope that this is going to translate into allowing us as a studio, who have always focused on gameplay first, to also make a nice push towards the visuals, to get some of that extra visual content, the eye candy, that is still not our primary focus. We want to make sure the game experience is the foremost focus. But if we have access to it, why wouldn't we add more models, add more visual acuity and stuff?
So make sure when you see the new team members in Discord, say hi to them, be nice to them, offer them a cup of coffee, whatever, and but from a safe social distance, virtually. As always, if you have questions about the project, suggestions, join us on our forums. on the Steam community and so on. We are looking to engage and get more feedback as we continue working towards a release.
And we'll have our usual stuff on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, where you probably find these videos and stuff. And now that we're getting into a bit of a better groove, hopefully you'll be seeing some video updates from us more often and stuff. So, as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And we will see you next time.
And we are still not sponsored by Audible. Thanks.
So I wonder what the appropriate mask etiquette is on a YouTube video. So it's got to be tough for YouTubers to do blogging and stuff. But I can't get the thing to stay.
Yeah, it's supposed to cover your nose, otherwise
Yes,
it's pretty
I know.
useless.
Yeah, so my kid is like, "Is it okay if I do this?" I'm like, "No, that will not help."